Hello, everybody. Coming back at you with another video. I am parked in Kansas City. I delivered my load. Thought I was going to get another load going out. Now, everybody getting ready to go party and do the bubbly. But what I do want to say few things for the new drivers. I was in some bad positions when I was a new driver, and no one really told me. School didn't really teach me. I had to go through the hard knocks of learning and getting it together, right? So if this will help the new drivers, just some tips. If you know it, that's great. But I'm quite sure everyone don't, because I didn't. We're going to talk about weight. We're going to talk about just fluctuating the weights on your trailer when you're overweight. Okay, we're going to basically talk about your trailer adjustment, so you can go up and down and high hooks. First, let's start off with the weight. When I first started, I went to a shipper and I picked up a load. And back then I got the load, and they loaded me up about an hour. I went and I was on their scale. So this is very, very important. A lot of shippers have scales for you to get on, right? They try to cover themselves to say, well, the load is not too heavy. And then they want you to sign for it and say that you accept it. If you accept it and it's overweight, it's all on you. Well, this particular time I picked up the load and I weighed it on their scale. It said I was okay. It said my trailer had 33,900. And it said that my drives had 31 and some change. And my steers were like 11,200. I said, okay, sign for it. I went. I said, but some say, because the load was 43,000 pounds. So my motto is anything 32,000 and up, I get it weighed. Whether it's at the shipper with their scales, I'd rather go to a CAT scale and get it scanned. Trust me, that's your best bet to do so. But anyway, I drive off the shipper. I go and get it weighed at the CAT scale at a Love's. Well, lo and behold, went up on the scale, weighed it. My trailer was 34,600. Okay, my drives were 31,200, something of that nature, and my steers were like 11,150, 200. I'm overweight on the trailer. Okay, I am overweight. Okay, I got 34,600. You can only have 34 on the trailer, 34 on the drives, and 12s on the steers. Well, of course, I'm overweight. I don't want to get no ticket. They said that's a ticket. So I was thinking in my mind, now I knew how to slide the tandems, take the pin, pull the pin, or if it's a rod, pull it out, let it down, and then you move with it, whatever way you want to move. Sometimes it gets stuck, so you got to rock it so you can loosen up the pins. But anyway, I knew that the weight was in the back, which was on the trailer, 600 pounds. But here's what the problem was. Believe it or not, I didn't study the weight for the holes. I mean, I heard about it, but, I was on my own and I was like, kind of feeling myself. I figured it out by just trial and error. The trailers that I pick up numerous trailers for different companies. And I learned the whole scale, okay, by this trial and error. If the holes on the trailer are 4 inches apart, that means from the hole to hole, there's 4 inches in between there. Every time in between this 4 inches, there's holes. Every time you move, if it's 4 inches, every time you move a hole, it's 250 pounds. The next hole will be another 250, that'll be 500, so on and so forth. That's for 4 inches. Now, I picked up a trailer and the holes were 6 inches. Whenever there's a 6-inch hole on the trailer, and the holes are 6 inches apart, every time you move that pin, it's 500 pounds, okay, per hole, right? So, to make it very, very easy for you, is to say if you got a 4-inch, it's a 4-inch diameter, every hole is 250 pounds. If it's wider than 4 inches, which is 6 inches, every hole you move, it's going to be 500 pounds. So, back to my scenario. I'm 600 pounds over on my trailer, right? I need to get that weight off that trailer onto my drives. Now remember, the drives are 31,200. The trailer is 34,600. I got to get that 600 pounds off the trailer. Okay. So I said, okay, I know I got to move the tandems. I moved them up a hole. I wasn't too sure about the weight, you guys, to be honest with you though. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't no one to know. It was just me in the truck at 12 o'clock midnight trying to get out of a shipper. Without the weight being right, I couldn't leave. So, because I couldn't make it to a truck stop. I was out of time. But I figured it out after I went on their scale and I was still overweight. Then I moved it another hole. I was still overweight. And I said, wait a minute. I can't do this all night. So I said, what weight was I before? The guy gave me the ticket. I said, okay, what weight am I now? Then I figured I was in a 4-inch trailer and each hole was 250 pounds. I was moving at 250 pounds, intervals. So I just figured it out. Listen, y'all, it's real simple. Don't be like me. I was 34,600 on the trailer. I was 31,200 on the drives. All I had to do was take 1,000 pounds off of 34 in the back. Move that 1,000 pounds to my drives. Now remember, my drives are 31,200. So all that would have did with that 1,000 off the trailer would have made my drives become now, with 1,000 pounds added to 31,200, it makes that 32,200. Real simple. If I take 1,000 now, I'm losing that 1,000 pounds off the back end. I'm only 600 actual pounds over on the trailer. Well, I took 1,000 pounds off the trailer and put it on my drive. So now my trailer will read, it was 34,600. I took 1,000 off, right? So I took 1,000 off, that makes my trailer 33,600. I'm under. I'm okay on my drives. I'm okay on my trailer. Remember this formula. Remember when I told you 4-inch holes, in between there, those pins, 250, 250, 250. If they were 6-inch holes, every time you slide that tandem, it's 500, 500, so forth and so on. Don't get confused about the weight like I did. Don't even worry about it. And how would you say it? Something that you should always remember is this. If the weight is in the back, you go forward. All the time. If it's too heavy in my trailer, I know when I get in this car, in this truck, and go, I need to go forward. I don't have to think about it. If my drives were too heavy, I know it's the opposite way. I know if my drive is too heavy, I go back on the trailer. Remember, where the weight is, you need to go from the weight. If the weight was in the front, I go back. If the weight was in the back, I go. It's always the opposite. Wherever the heaviest is, you go from it. So if the weight is in the back, you're going to go what? Forward. If the weight is in the front, you're going to go back with your trailer. So just remember that. And just remember, it's real easy. Sometimes, don't worry about 750 or 800 unless you had to really calculate that. But if you can take 1,000 off or something, make it easy for you. One is 400 pounds over on either one, it doesn't matter. If it's 33,800, who cares? You under DOT, you're okay. You're fine. So just remember, where the weight is, if it's on my trailer, whenever I slide the hole that I want to get it in, and I count the weight and I know what it is per hole, I'm going to go up if it's on my trailer. If my drives, I'm saying, oh man, my drives are too heavy. So I know when I take this trailer and I push in my button and I got the brakes locked and trailer brakes, I'll need to go back. Go opposite of where the weight is. Don't go to the weight, go away from the weight. Okay, I hope y'all understand that. I hope we got that covered. Don't worry about it. I'll have another video on that. Second of all, I want to discuss, I had a problem with my doors. Okay, I'm kind of new. I was just learning backing a little bit. I still have a little problem with backing, depending on what it is, y'all, to be honest. But on my own, went to the dock, made it there fine, slid my tandems. They said, open up your doors. I latched them, open them up, backed on in there. All right, doors open fine, latch. Okay, about an hour later, green light came on. When the green light come on, you ought to get your trailer, move it out of the dock door. close your doors and put the seal on. They gave you the seal, by itself. Well, I pull out. I'm loaded. I'm feeling pretty good. I made it in the dock door. All the trucks are lined up. And I pull out. So I get out just as confident. Get out, run around, get the first door, unchain it, close it. It won't latch. I mean, I lift up on the latch. I did with the door. I lift up on. I said, what is going on? So me being just, don't want to look too embarrassed, I go get the other door and see would it latch. Usually, you got to take this door and then put the other one that secures that one with the seal going up and down. But anyway, I wanted to make sure I just wasn't going crazy. I tried to latch the other door. Well, of course it was not going to latch. I'm saying, man, people are looking. I'm at a shipper. There's drivers. No one came and said anything. It just so happened when I was on the second door, I looked down on the ground. I was like, and I looked, there was asphalt, a hunk that my top trail tiller was on. So it had the truck sitting like a little left to the left cock. I said, could that be I'm not on level ground? I latched them back up, hopped back in the truck, and I drove a little bit further. Seen some level, stopped, jumped out. Y'all, trailer door said, clack, clack. The other one said, clack, clack. I put the seal on. I'm like, and a driver was walking back from getting his paperwork. He said, I seen you out there, young man, struggling. He said, but, we all got to learn. He said, I knew you would figure it out, which I did. But things like that, and you're under pressure, you had a shipper, other trucks are coming in. They want to they can have your door that you have. So it can get a little, you start sweating a little bit under the collar. Okay. And so I made it through that. That's just one of the things that I went through. Third thing I went through, okay, is the trailer landing gear, y'all. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm making this channel to be 100% with you and honest. I picked up a Walmart trailer, okay? The Walmart trailer said it was 41,000 pounds and something, right? So I said, okay, I back up under the trailer. But in the meantime, I'm getting a message from my company telling me, yeah, make sure that you get the trailer number and the IDs and all this. I'm punching that. But in the meantime, I'm just backing up very slowly. So when I realized I backed up, my fairings, which is the back of the trailer, the little plastic thing that the very end of the trailer that sticks out like that, they're at the trailer. Literally, they're at the trailer. The trailer's here, but the trailer's tall. I'm at the trailer. I said, no, I didn't. Yes, I did. It a high hook, y'all. High hook, meaning that the fifth wheel, if it's too high, that pin will go right up over it and catch in the back. And now you can't go forward no more in your truck. That's what that means, a high hook. That means that the trailer was too high and you went up and you went right over and your pin, the trailer pin got caught right behind your fifth wheel on your truck. Now I'm stuck, y'all. I am stuck. I'm starting to sweat. Don't know, what to do. There was no yard jockeys because the business was closed and this trailer was loaded when I went to pick it up. It's after 5. It's like 5:40 in the afternoon, right? So I was stuck. I sat there for about 10, 15 minutes. Some say, call your company and tell them you got a high hook and they send someone out. That's very embarrassing to do so. So I just thought about it and said, wait a minute, what if I just went out? I tried to, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I tried to put a screwdriver, some wood. I tried to make up the space to get, that wasn't working. And then also they said, Bing, the trailer has 2 gears. You got the low gear and you got the high gear. Okay, now you probably know this, but it will come in handy for me to just tell you. Well, I thought about it then. I'm over. I can't do nothing. The pin is over. Only way I can get that pin out from behind that fifth wheel, okay, is to lower it. How am I lower it and it got 41,000 pounds? That was my dilemma. And I thought, it had a low gear on here, y'all. Listen, I must have seen that sucker. I went out there, and all you got to do is pull the handle, put it all the way out, clank, clank, clank. It has a little slide on it, and you push it one time in. Make sure you line up the handle, and it'll go one time in. Don't go all the way in because that's your grind. That's your that's the one that you, when you really want to hump and you want to get the landing gear down. That's your main power. But this is like what do I call it? I forgot what I call it. It's not manual, but what I'm saying is that it's 2 catches. You take the handles already in, you pull it all the way out, clink, clink, clink. You push it in 1 time, get it lined up, right there. Okay, that's when it goes. So you'll know the difference. It cranks so just like this, and it seemed like it's not doing anything, right? But as I look, I said, this is not going to do anything. So remember, I'm high hook. So what I needed to do was have that trailer go up a little bit more so I can clear the actual pin that's on the trailer. I was whining, y'all. All of a sudden I said, it looked like it's going up. Okay. It's like it's going up. Right? And I'm turning. I said, no, I put a little more. I kept turning. Also, y'all listen. Telling you the honest truth, that trailer started going up. It was because it was just spinning. When you're in the low gear, in the high gear, it's just spinning. It's just spinning. It's just spinning, but it's raising it really up. How do you think little women 5'5" and 5'4" making these trailers, picking these trailers up, they be loaded? Because you can't, in manual gear, you can't do nothing because it's loaded. How you gonna, I even tried to sit on it, push my feet, figured it out, put it on that gear, y'all, and it was going up. Slowly but surely, it went up. I seen it go up just enough to clear that pin from my 5th wheel. Yeah, I must have bagged on out of there, right? Bagged back up under it, just enough to where, not where the pin's gonna go inside of there, but just enough where that opening of my 5th wheel go here, and then I went the opposite way. Still on manual, my little control, took it down till it touched the trailer. The pin was between my 5th wheel, and it touched on there. After that, and clack, clank. I was like, oh no, this is too good. But I was stuck because if I wouldn't have figured that out, I would have been stuck, y'all. Honestly, I just wouldn't be stuck. I had to call the company and tell them, hey, I got a high hook and send somebody out here to lift up the trailer. But it didn't happen by the grace of God. So I got that. I put it up. I latched on to it, right? And I was able to get the trailer on there, and it latched up. It was a very, 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 very bad experience for me. So these are just little things that I'll be making videos about. I know the experienced truckers that, they know all these things though, but a lot of times you get out of school and, you get on that truck after you get out of school and you did all your training and rode and did your hours. You get on that truck. I'm going to tell you something. I know it's 53 foot, but when I got in that cab and they told me to go hook up to a trailer, y'all, and I actually hooked up to it to make sure it clamped, that the jaws is on there, everything clamped on there, y'all, that trailer seemed like it was 100 feet long instead of 53, because you're on your own and you have a lot of responsibility. And with that, for the new drivers, I would like to say this to you, just for safety. Don't play PlayStation. Don't get on social media when you got loads. Don't stay up all night. Don't be up watching TV all night, okay? Don't do it. Take it from a person that did that. I was more nervous staying up. I couldn't go to sleep because I was excited and worried at the same time, if that makes sense. Because now I'm on my own. I have to travel any turn I make. There's no trainer. I have to survey things, bridge heights. It's so much information. Watch other drivers, mergers. It's so bad. So I want to say this as a safety precaution, not telling you nothing, but just if it's good information, just use it. Get your sleep. Stay off of PlayStation. Leave the TV alone. Lay down. If you got to lay down in the darkness on the truck, there's going to be a little anxiety starting off. Go to sleep. Okay? Don't be like me, because I went, my second run was going to Indiana. And I left Dallas, Texas, going to Indiana. And I'm going to tell you, I stayed up kind of late. I couldn't sleep, y'all. I just couldn't go to sleep. So I stayed up. I probably went to bed about 12:30, 1 o'clock. Okay, I had to start rolling by 5:30. So it's kind of rough. Well, I made it and everything, got my coffee. I got up, brushed my teeth, washed my face, got up, started the truck, did my inspection, got in the truck. Well, y'all, it was good till about 6, 7, about 8 o'clock. I was going through Indiana, and there's these tall trees. They're standing on the side of the road like this. But the problem is that, the trees are like this on the side of the road. But I'm driving the truck, y'all. Now, in between these trees is space. Every tree is 2 trees, space, 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 space. So it's a long stretch, about 35 miles. I forgot what freeway I was on. I was going to Indiana, though. But it was almost like, it was like a twilight effect. It was like, could you pass? I'm doing 65 miles an hour. So I'm rolling the truck, y'all, and it's like the sunlight between the trees is going, woof, 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 like flashing, like, woof, woof. I'm telling you. And I had to really gather myself because it was making me sleepy. Okay, I hadn't got all my proper rest. It was making me sleepy. I mean, I opened up the windows, I cut on the AC, another thing, cut on the AC, I cut on the AC, opened the windows, I let the bugs fly, I don't care. But I had to stay up, right? I had to stay up. But what I did do was the right thing, was that I didn't have to deliver until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And I called my company and told them, say, listen, I told them I ate something bad the day at the truck stop and I'm really feeling sick. Can I please deliver this load first thing in the morning? And it was a tussle back and forth. Well, okay, we'll see. An hour later, you can deliver in the morning. Get your sleep. Get your sleep. Because all it takes for you to fall asleep on that truck, you can kill a bunch of people. That trailer has a devil's whip on it. If you do something crazy, that trailer will come around and wipe out everything. So I just say, not to preach to you. This is my own experience. I don't do it anymore. I make sure I'm in the bed early enough. I make sure I got my proper rest, right? I make sure I stay hydrated, because honestly, y'all, I was getting sleepy, like really, like have to, when you get sleepy, you got to, wait a minute, I got to stay, you're in an 18 wheeler, I'm loaded down 45,000 pounds. So not to preach to you, but just for safety, just something that you might know. Don't forget, 4 inches. How many pounds per hole? 250. 6 inches? How many pounds per hole? 500. If your weight is in the back and you need to get it off, you need to go up. If your weight is in the front here and you need to get it off, you need to go back. It doesn't matter. Remember, the hole structure is going to take the weight. What the holes are is taking your weight off. Please don't forget that. I'll come at you with another video. I got some freeway action, some things I'm going through. I'm kind of stuck right now in Kansas City, and it's getting cold, and it's going to be a lot of snow and a lot of things. So we'll be running Kansas City for the next week. So stay with me, subscribe, and let's get through life. It is about to be 2026. It is really weird. I'm sitting at a truck stop. I don't have a problem with that. I got a lot of plans for 2026. You guys have a happy new year, and stay safe. Okay? Please stay safe. Until next time, see you.